You hatch under sand, warmed by a ruthless sun. The air smells of salt and leaf litter. The first lesson arrives fast. The biggest danger is your own future self. Adult Komodo dragons, armored monarchs of the ground, will eat you if they can. So you sprint upward, claws to bark, trading earth for leaves, because the path to a crown starts in the trees. Before we dive deeper, a quick hello from the humans behind the camera. Welcome to our channel. If wild stories told with science and heart are your thing, like, comment, and subscribe. It keeps this little island of curiosity alive. Born a Komodo dragon sounds like being born powerful. You're the largest lizard on Earth, an apex predator with a tongue that reads the wind and jaws that can drop a deer in seconds. Locals call you Aura. Your lineage is ancient. Your stride is a measured sentence written on volcanic dirt. But none of that matters when you're small. In the canopy, you learn patience. You eat insects, geckos, fledgling birds. You memorize invisible roads, scent trails held in the fork of your tongue until the day your body outgrows the branches and gravity invites you back to the throne room of dust and heat. On the ground, you are a specialist in efficiency. You don't waste energy. You wait by trails and waterholes, keeping your heartbeat slow and your muscles ready. The old myth said your bite kills by dirt, by bacteria, so foul that blood turns against itself. The truth is colder and more elegant. You carry venom that lowers blood pressure and hinders clotting, turning wounds into exits. The rest is physics and patience. You are built for a map of islands. Komodo, Hinka, Flores, Gilimotangi, Gilidazami, a few neighbors, places where deer drift like tides across savanna and mangrove. For millions of years, that map was generous. It carved you a niche with heat, prey, and space. You became the island lord. Now the realm is shrinking. Sea level rise bites the edges first, eating beaches where mothers bury eggs and pushing salt into freshwater zones. Nest sites wash out. The safe sand moves, but cliffs and villages block the retreat. Climate heat sharpens drought and fire. Savanna turns tinder dry, and the clock for hunting and thermoregulation tightens to narrower bands of day. Prey pressures mount. Deer and boar, your staples, are poached or displaced. An apex predator without a solid prey base is a title without a job. Human edges creep. Roads slice habitat, fences redirect migrations. Garbage and goats lure dragons into villages, making conflict more likely. Small numbers mean thin margins. Komodo dragons are listed as endangered. A bad year, fire, disease, a storm season that slams the coast can set a small island population back for years. It's not that you are weak. You're not. You can run in quick bursts, swim short channels, and in rare, isolated cases, even reproduce without males. Parthenogenesis, biological parachute to keep a lineage from blinking out overnight. But parachutes are for falling. They aren't wings. Being an island lord is less about dominance than maintenance. At dawn, you slide from shade, warming your engine on rocks that remember last afternoon's sun. You patrol, you choose the day's ambush site, not just by wind direction, but by the geometry of new fences and the thinning deer trail that still threads between them. Your power is focus. Your wealth is time. But when the island narrows, time turns expensive. Picture a single evening in the shrinking kingdom. The tide licks higher than last wet season at the roots of the mangroves, where a mother once chose her nest. A new road hums beyond the ridge. Your tongue writes a map of molecules across the dusk. Deer nervous somewhere upwind, a whiff of engine oil, the peppery dust of goats. You wait. a dark comma in a sentence of grass. Then, a burst, a rush, a bite, a drag, the afterwork of feeding, efficient, ancient, exact. You belong here so completely that even your footprints look like punctuation the land expects. But belonging is not the same as being safe. On islands, every centimeter counts. Lose a strip of beach, lose a clutch of eggs, lose a corridor of scrub, stall gene flow. You can't walk north forever. The ocean says stop. So why call it worst to be born now? Because the timing is cruel. The biology still fits the land barely, but the land is changing faster than instinct can update. Your strengths, synergy, thrift, patience, coastal life turn brittle when the coast erodes and the quiet is filled with engines. And yet, this story doesn't end at the waterline. There are ways to keep the throne attached to land. Guard the edges, protect and restore mangroves, dunes, and nesting beaches. Nature-based defenses buffer storms, build land, and store carbon. Keep prey plentiful. Strong anti-poaching and community wildlife management stabilize deer and boar numbers, the base that holds the apex. Connect what remains. On larger islands, protect corridors so dragons can move, meet, and maintain genetic health. Run tourism smart, no baiting, respectful distances, guide training, and visitor caps where needed. Make sure revenue returns to habitat care and local livelihoods. Plan for climate now. Map future-safe nest sites, upland refuges, and thermal shelters. In exceptional cases, consider assisted movement between suitable islands to prevent isolated collapses. Work with neighbors. Support island communities with conservation jobs, sustainable fisheries, and conflict reduction tools so fear doesn't replace awe. No zoo can bottle an island's wind. Captive breeding may hedge extinction risk, but the soul of a Komodo dragon is stitched to place, to salt, to sun, to the dusty geometry of game trails. Protect the place, and you keep the dragon. So is it truly the worst thing to be born a Komodo dragon? Not inherently. For most of deep time it was arguably one of the best. Apex status, few natural enemies, a climate tuned to a cold-blooded engine. What makes it worst? Today, ISNT, the body or the instinct are accelerating century. The realm is narrowing while the Lord still does his rounds. Perfectly adapted to a map we are redrawing without his consent. What we choose next matters. On islands, decisions ripple fast. A protected beach, a mangrove replanted, a net banned, a corridor kept open, you can see the difference within a lifetime. If we act with the urgency of tide charts and fire seasons, the hatchling in the tree will climb down into a world that still fits him. If we don't, the crown will outlive the country that gives it meaning. If this journey across the archipelago resonated with you, welcome again to our channel. Tell us what species to explore next in the comments, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so these stories keep finding the people who care.